RC versus Blinky. These are arguably, or possibly not even arguably, two of the best players in the world, maybe the two best players in the world. It's showing in the World League. It's showing in their games. We're seeing it every single week. This is almost impossible to predict.
Yeah, I think if you asked most people who the two best players in the world are, you'd probably get these two as the most common answers. I mean, they've been incredible so far. Blinky is undefeated. He hasn't lost a match yet. Radu's only lost one. And very, very similar stats there. So this is too hard to call. I have no idea how this is going to go, but it's going to be a blast.
We do see RC up there, first place with 36 points, but he has 14 matches. Blinky, 34 points in 12 matches. So close, but this could make a pretty big difference here if RC, for instance, were to take a 2-0, something like that. Should be intense. It should be pretty amazing. They're off to the races. They're off to moving. Let's see what happens. I cannot wait.
So both of them seeing a couple of signs. Radu has a pin down in Northern Ireland. Blinky saw a couple of signs that I imagine are going to tell him that it's certainly Northern Ireland. So unlikely to see too much difference here. Worth noting, last time I think that we saw these two face off was the semifinals of the 2023 World Cup, where it was a best of 5 and Blinky took it 3-2. And look at that, the 5K from Radu to start it off.
The 5K up against the 4999. 1 point. 1.
Showing off a little bit. They know it's round 1. They know that round's not going to make too much of a difference. So may as well try and find the pinpoint. And Radu doing a beautiful job.
RC gets it in there.
I thought it
round 2
could be, yeah, okay, it's Hungary. It's oddly hilly for Hungary. Actually, a castle on the hill over there. I wonder, there are a few areas of Hungary that are hilly, but they're decently far from each other. So we'll see what the players end up with. We'll see if they can find any info.
Yeah, nothing too much yet. I will say RC, Radu Goes Places on Instagram, put on a story today. People might be calling Vikings versus Lions game of the century, but they don't know about me versus Blinky. And then he dropped the time. That's what I'm saying, though. This is a game of the century. This is a game of the Titans. Two of the best in the world. Getting the right lake there, but really not too much information to go off besides them recognizing the lake.
Yep. They didn't have much there. Just a bit of landscape. No place name clues, but again, pretty much immaculate region guesses from both of them. They are just so strong. Blinky, again, has not lost a moving game yet. He's 12 for 12 so far, and widely considered to be the best moving player in the world. But Radu is probably widely considered to be the best Ukraine player in the world, and we are in Ukraine, so we'll see if we can take some points off here.
Could be doable.
Blinky's got a spot he likes, though.
Wow.
Wow.
That's the 5K. They're both just there. I mean, what can you even say?
Such a high level of gameplay. No information, by the way. They just
None.
knew the road. I mean, they just lined up the road and they knew the road. Like, they're just that good. Wow.
Yeah, what can even be said about that last round? I mean, what? No signs, no nothing.
I mean, the gameplay we saw when Blinky played Radu at the World Cup in 23 was some of the highest level gameplay we've ever seen. And now it's like a year and a half later. And it's like, imagine how much these players have improved since then. Again, like... Wow.
I mean, they're just both right there in the right town.
What are we seeing? Extraordinary.
I hope we get an NMPZ. I just hope we get as much excitement as possible.
It's like a southern Russia here.
You think there's any chance we get round 10 and both players are still above 4-9?
As in, like, 4,900?
I mean, sorry, 5-9 health.
Oh,
5,900. They're both on it round 5.
I'd be surprised, I'll be honest, but...
These would be the players to do it, though.
They would. If anyone could, it would be these guys. So they're both just scanning. I mean, they're not doing a lot of moving. Blinky's found something he likes. Normally when Blinky locks in, it's bad news for the other player, but...
RC needs to follow.
He does move. We'll see what happens here.
Wow.
Blinky. Yep.
Wow. Alright, my prediction is not happening. That's 3,000 points of damage to RC. Blinky on 5,999. RC less than half health now.
And that's huge with how consistent Blinky is in moving. I mean, Radu's going to have to hope for some tough rounds if he wants to get these points back, because Blinky is not often going to give up this many points.
Round 6. 3.5 times damage. Can RC make a comeback right here, right now?
Blinky's got a sign. Trento. He knows what that is, of course. It's a large city in northern Italy. It's a pretty big province. He's looking probably for the provincial road right now. And he just decides to send it in. But Radu, I mean, he'll probably know it's the Alps. I don't think he'll lose, but he may lose some more points here.
What a good region guess with no sign.
So good anyway.
Wow!
Look at that.
He moves it right to Trento and he didn't even have a sign.
Look at that.
Wow. Look at that. He ends up being a little tiny closer without even any info. 49 points.
It's just amazing the level of these two players, honestly.
It's unbelievable. We go to round 7. Can this go the distance?
New Zealand here. Little sign. These sometimes have info, but it looks like that one was not very helpful.
RC it with a zoom near Wellington here. Southern North Island of New Zealand. Blinky moving around as fast as he can, trying to find some signs. RC seems to be opting for just saying, you know what, I don't think I'm going to find anything. I'm going to make a region guess because I can. I'm so good at no move. I'm just going to region guess this. Plonks it in. Blinky to follow sort of nearby.
Yep. Pretty similar guesses, but still different. Oh
RC, what is that region guess? No info. Makes a pretty decent comeback. Blinky still does have a lead here, but it's a little more even now. This is where RC wants to be.
If anything, that's the way to do it against Blinky. Blinky's so good at finding and using info that if you feel like you have a decent idea of the region, you may as well just send the guess in. And Radu's better at that than pretty much anybody else. This looks like another Russia, though. Possibly. Again, especially urban Russia is even harder than rural Russia most of the time, so this could honestly end the game for either player.
Blinky with a sign here.
Nikolaevka, Akiat. I don't know what those towns are. I'm not sure Blinky does either.
If Jake doesn't know them, it's very possible Blinky doesn't. The timer's running out.
Oh my gosh, Radu hasn't found anything, so he's just gonna have to region guess based off the antenna.
Yeah, you see him starting to play at no
likely
move.
Game. He's.
Oh, this is a big difference. Oh, this is a big difference. Oh, he just tried to move it last second.
He tried to move.
But it ends up working.
Oh.
Where he stayed will win him the game.
He tried to move to where Blinky was.
They would have been on top of each other, but instead he couldn't get the move in time, and he actually wins the game off that first guess.
Wow, Blinky loses a moving game for the first time in the World League.
That's
his 13th moving game, his first loss.
That's unreal.
And honestly, you have to say that in terms of comparative advantage, I think that moving is Blinky's strongest mode against Radu. So Radu has to be feeling pretty good about where he stands, having won the moving game.
Oh, no move now. Blinky's got an 83% win rate, and RC's got an 85%. So
wow,
That's so unreal. And that's why RC just even that 2% more, because he's making guesses like that. This might be RC's matchup.
How is he casually just getting the right province on that? That's insane. That's so insane. Oh my. And now we've got US, which is Radu's one of his strongest countries. Looks like we're on a university campus. Is it legible? Radu?
Ooh, I don't know.
What? I can't see what it is because the screen is small for me.
Blinky locking in Indiana.
Yeah, I wish I knew.
Yeah, our screens are not big enough.
Saw.
Maybe they can read that. RC in Indianapolis too, so. Oh, he switches
Muncie, Ball State. Is that what it is? It's Ball State. Yep.
Looks like it is. RC laughing at himself a little bit there. I don't know why, but 4998.
He might have misremembered what state Ball State was in, so he was looking in Ohio first, and maybe he was just chuckling at himself, like,
yeah,
glad that he
glad he got it
that wrong.
Last second. Going around 3 now. Appears to be a what is this? A turkey by the looks of it? Yeah.
Yep. Pressure is on Blinky right now. Behind not only in this game, but in the match. Again, both players very likely to reach the World Cup anyway, regardless of how this match goes, but this is just like... This is just the highest level gameplay we're going to see pretty much in the entirety of these 21 weeks. Similar guesses here. I think a bit more east.
Yeah, shouldn't be too much. Kind of right there, similar region guess. Barcy a little bit closer, holds us flawless, taking us to round 4. Blinky now on 4,351 health.
Norway. And we've mentioned before, Norway can be a really tough country to region guess, north to south. Because it can look so similar along that coast in those fjord areas. But, yeah, I mean, this round could have big implications.
Definitely could. RC yet to open the map. Blinky has zoomed in quick. Kind of just center of the country there, very central. Will RC follow? He follows a little farther north by the looks of it. Not too much farther, though. He likes a road by the looks of it as well. Kind of lining it up if he can. The E6. Blinky on the E6 as well, though. They're just on a little bit different parts of it.
I think they're pretty close to each other here. Blinky trying to find the 5K, but there's so many possibilities. It's going to be hard to do that.
Wow, they ended up being right on top of each other, but it's farther north. That's 28 points down to RC's health. Quick level 28.
But amazing how they're just on the exact same wavelength there. They just... same road, same exact idea. It's just, yeah. It's amazing how in sync they are and just how consistent they're able to be. This is odd, though. This is Indonesia, I think, but it's strange. We have some sort of government building, but this all looks very sort of... All the trees look very planted, all the developments look fairly new, if anything, but it's an unusual landscape, which is going to make it really tough to region guess.
Yeah, this is quite a hard one. We have RC zooming in on Sumba. Wow.
Wow. Sumba is interesting. It's a risk for sure. I don't know. I mean, I could see Blinky going somewhere completely different here. He's got 5 seconds. He hasn't even zoomed in.
Oh, he's in Sumatra. Yeah, I mean, 3 times damage. Oh, it's just East Kalimantan.
Wow.
Neither player very happy with that. RC just a little closer, but not even really. It does get him the points, but both guesses pretty far. from the actual location, and we take us to round 6, 3.5 times damage now.
I mean, that location was all but impossible. Like,
so hard.
If you're just in a general rural landscape, it's usually more region guessable, but all of that was so sort of planted, kind of new development kind of stuff, that it's like pretty much impossible to tell where you are.
Extremely difficult, yeah. This a little bit easier, actually, surprisingly, just because landscape and things like that are much easier to go off of, in a sense.
Yep.
Than stuff like that. So both players close to each other, Northern Chile, but Blinky. What a guess.
What? Oh my gosh.
guess.
How does he know the road on a round like that? It's just some tiny white road and he's just on it. But again, Radu's guess is so good, it doesn't even matter. He only lost like 300 points. Australia. Is this Tasmania ever? That was my thought.
RC going Tasmania quick here. Blinky yet to open. We'll see if he follows suit.
Very typical.
Oh, he doesn't.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Wait!
Wow.
4 times damage. The game ends right there. RC 2-0's Blinky.
Wow. Huge result. I mean, Blinky took a risk there. I think he knew that Tasmania was possible, but he figured, you know,